What I'm worried about is everybody else's view. As somebody that wants to sit in the United States Senate, I have to be concerned with what people believe, because I'm here to represent the state or the people of the state. So I would like to have some questions from y'all, because that's what's so important. That's what's missing in politics right now. Politicians, which I am not, do not look to the people for the issues that are important. They tell you what's important to them. They think those are the same issues that are important to the people. So please, ask me some questions.
I would like to see process audits instituted every social service agency, every agency in the federal government. A process audit, and I've worked doing this for a number of years, is a type of quality control system. It's an aspect of it.
Right.
You don't just go in there, you follow the rules, damn it, and stomp on people like they do now. But okay, what? And you do check to see if they are following the rules, but the other half of it is, okay, what needs to be improved? How can we be more efficient? How can we serve the people better? And have those, put those regulations in, and actually improve morale at the bottom and give better service.
And I would agree with that. Two issues that go right hand in hand with that is, one is means testing. Many people don't need to be going to the government for support. They have plenty of available resources to their own personal wealth that they've built. They don't need to go to the government for some issues. Second thing is fraud, waste, and abuse. There is plenty of that going on in Medicare. That
it's institutionalized.
It's institutionalized.
In fact, most people who go to these social agencies don't want it forever. There are some.
That's right.
But they get trapped in it. They're not allowed out of receiving certain benefits without dire penalties.
That's right. And initially, Social Security, a good example, was started as a safety net program. It was to catch people when they needed the help, and once they would work out of a position to not need help, they would be allowed to leave the system. It's not that way now. Now, once you're into the Social Security system, you're latched in a net, more or less, in which you cannot get out of. So means testing has to be employed, in my view. But also you have to provide individuals that need that kind of help, if it's welfare, social welfare programs, or Social Security, or even Medicare for that matter, you have to give them the means to be able to work out of that system. And we don't have that means right now. We have locked the system down to such a point when somebody gets into it, they're stuck. So we have to deal with it with common sense solutions. And we're going to have to, quite frankly, look out of that box. Because if we don't look out of the box for the answers, and we try to use the same solutions that are in the box that we've used in the past, it's bound to fail. So I agree with you. Anything else? Hi, Gino. You got to put your name on the list to speak. And then when you put one of the requisites is you have to ask a question. Go ahead.
I'm looking at the voter guide, and I find it disgusting out of our Nevada sagebrush at our very own UNR, having sent out all these press releases. We did get a tacit mention about tonight, but I don't see any third parties in here.
Not one, not one.
Not at all.
That's the university. Yeah.
Well, of course.
I'm wondering if you can comment on your response from the media, if any.
Yeah, I could.
Please.
We're a threat. Because we're not a part of the, let's see, establishment social party or process of the Republican and Democratic Party. We think differently than they do. We don't look inside that box that they've created for themselves. I think John can tell you one thing. about the Independent American Party, we are not, our candidates aren't beholden to a party. Would you agree with that?
Yes, we're beholding to our Constitution.
Thank you very much. That's what's important to us. The money involved in politics right now. I got one for you. Anybody heard what Joy Behar said about Sharon Angle over the last couple of days?
Yes.
Did you hear what Sharon Angle said?
Yes.
Or did today to her?
Yes, I did.
Sent her flowers with a little note that said, "Thank you very much. Over the last 24 hours, your comment generated $150,000 in donations in 24 hours. Well, yeah. That's $150,000 that Sharon Angle just took out of the mouths of people that need their money at home, to feed their families, to put their kids through school, to pay their medical bills, to pay their mortgages, however you want to put it. There's too much money in politics. And this is something that we need to fix. And we need to fix it fast. Because that reason alone, if we start to change those rules, you'll start to see third-party candidates being promoted in the media as being a viable option, and that's a threat to them right now. Did that answer to your question?
Yes, thank you.
Too long?
What was the question?
Well, I'm sorry, just kidding. Gino, what's on your mind?
The governor's race.
What about it?
I should win.
Okay, I'm going to present a question, this is going to be kind of a little open forum here. If I get elected, Gino, I can tell you this much. You'll see me so much, that you want to throw me out of your office. Because I ultimately work for you, the state of Nevada, and the people. Not like the politicians now. When was the last time Harry Reid came into this state and spent any substantive time talking to the people, talking to the governor, talking to the state officials to find out what the hell is needed in this state?
Does everybody understand the checks and balances of our bicameral Congress? I mean, you have to put that foundation in place to have your statement carry weight. Because your statement is 100% right on target.
That's right. The bicameral House is set up for a specific way. The House represents the people. The Senate represents the state. The state's issues. That is the checks and balances in the House and the Senate. We have right now a system where we have politicians that they don't care about that system. They're not representing the state of Nevada. Who are they representing? Themselves. Their party. They could care less about the people. Anything else? Lynn, I know you have a question. I can see a question in this. Anybody? Yes, sir.
You're a new name to me, and probably maybe others in this room. Can you give us a little background on a little bio on your? Obviously, you're a veteran, when you served, and what you've been doing since.
Sure. When I was 18, I joined the military, joined the Navy. I was an enlisted man in the Navy, just as Gino was enlisted, I believe, right?
That's correct.
Very honorable position to be in. Worked in the Navy for 6 years. After that, became a contractor, a government contractor. Did aircraft work all around the world. After that, got hurt in early '94. Fell off the top of the helicopter, as a matter of fact, and banged myself up pretty good. After that, I went into my own aerospace business where I developed rocket motors. After that endeavor, and after selling the technology or licensing the technology in 2001, Becky and my wife had opened a business, a contracting business, so I worked for my wife.
Was all this in Nevada? Or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Primarily, when I was in the military, I wasn't in Nevada. I used to come up here to Fallon when I was in the military, a young man, years ago, and we used to have to draw straws to see who would really go to Fallon, Nevada. Nobody wanted to go. There was nothing there. And I remember when we first moved into Nevada in 1990, I was so ecstatic to find out that Fallon, because that's where we moved to, had 2 grocery stores. So
They used to have a brothel too at one time. Yeah.
I'm not going to get into that subject because I was a young man then before I met my wife, so we won't talk about that. So I was in business with my wife. I worked for my wife. She handled the clerical, administrative direction end of the business. I handled the on-hand management of personnel that worked in our contracting center. We had 15 people that worked for us at one point in time, and when the real estate market collapsed, so did our business. The hardest day of our life was when we had to decide that our business was defunct because of the actions of somebody over in Washington, D.C. and New York. They mismanaged the finances of this country and in the financial system in general. That mismanagement caused us to lose our business. But one thing that we did not do, we did not ask the government for a bailout. And that's what leads us today. I was so concerned at that point in time at what was going on in our country that I said, enough is enough. And John can tell you, I came to him, I like to say I was nearly broken because I lost all faith that what I had learned about my country had been turned upside down. But with John's help, a little bit of John's help and his tutelage and his warning, so to speak, that it would not be easy, I'm here today. I think I'm a better man for it. And I think this country, if I get elected, will be a better place too. Good enough?
Great. Last minute.
Last minute? Oh, we got our bio. All right, somebody else.
You're actually going to wait 15 minutes. So
We got 1 more minute.
Was chicken a little right? Chicken a little right.
Well, maybe. It could have been less. Anybody else, please? You know who I am? Please come to my website at www.fasano2010.com. Most of the people here that I know, I would hope would vote for me. Those of you that don't, I also hope would vote for me. Because we need some change, all right. But we don't need a politician making that change. We need some patriots, like I consider myself to be one, to make these changes. And I guarantee my honor is that I will support and defend the Constitution of this country if it kills me doing it. Thanks a lot. Have a good evening.
All right, everyone, we'll adjourn for a quick break. This will give me a chance to pull the video I got on my camera, put it on my laptop, clear out the card so we can do the second half of this. Now's a good time to take some water. The next speaker is Gino, and then after that, whoever fills in their name after him.
Cody.
Cody. I still got it. Cody, please feel free to sign in on the sheet.
All right.
Yeah.